Vaughn, do your thing. It is the Suicide Boys and an exclusive interview. Hardly ever happens, and in a whole new way. Part 2 here. We start at the 19-minute mark. We've already done the first part, and now you're going to see the next. Without further ado.
I don't know if they would say New Orleans. You know?
right.
I don't know if they wouldn't.
Right. I agree.
Turn mine
But,
down a little bit.
It's just what you guys have is so unique.
My
It's not
headphones down a little
mainstream.
bit.
It's your own thing. It's huge.
No,
I mean, you guys
that's
play. You guys are playing arenas. You know, it's like it's fucking crazy.
Yeah. It is.
and it's kind of it's all you. It's all you and your fans thing, right? That's what I think is. Feels like it's y'all's thing. It almost feels. I almost feel like an outsider even getting to spend time with you in a way, right?
Yeah.
No
I mean,
kidding.
you and I are close, and I'm grateful to. You know, we're both from Louisiana, but and so I'm grateful for it. But still, I know that that's y'all's world, right? And
Very
so
modest.
I guess what I'm asking, like, how does that first thing start to kick off, and how do you know you're making something that you feel brave enough to put out there, or were you just were you just kind of?
So he started off like he used to rap and he was you in a lot of bands growing up. My path was different. I started off DJing when I was 13. I was listening to Q93. You know Q93.
Oh yeah,
And DJ Rowe was on there, and he was it was the first time I ever heard someone blend two songs together, and it tripped me out. So my parents got me like this little $100 DJ setup for Christmas, and I started from there. About fast forward, you know, I'm DJing parties, all that, throughout high school. And
that
then,
was some fire, huh?
Friday, yeah, it went down. It went down. Kyle knows it went down.
People needed you
we
then, bro.
had some good times, bro. It was wild, legendary times. And then 19. Fast forward, I'm about 19, and that's when I got into producing and engineering, like recording people and mixing it all. I never really wanted to rap. I would do it for fun, but I thought it was whack to be white and be a rapper. I didn't see too many out there that pulled it off good.
Yeah, you got to really know you can do it.
Yeah, so I was like, I always felt like my place was more behind the scenes. And then I made a couple mixtapes for fun while on like my off days when I was working at the furniture store. He reaches back out to
He was selling furniture, bro.
slanging used furniture. Yeah, bro.
Who was it for, bro? What furniture?
Wine Accord furniture.
Yeah, Wine
right there
Accord,
in
bro.
Jefferson.
Yeah.
Dude, I rented some shit for fucking Wine Accord one time.
Yeah.
During Katrina, I had an apartment or something, and we put some furniture in there, some Wine Accord, bro. And somebody, some dude stole, like, we had 3 ottomans in that bitch, bro.
Yeah.
Some dude took just the ottomans. That was a crazy thing, you know? You don't see a lot of just solely ottoman theft.
Yeah, no.
I don't.
Usually you take the love seat, bro. Because who's going to lay on the floor and just put their feet up?
He must have been desperate, bro.
So that guy's a real adventure guy.
Yeah, I like it. I like his style.
Over there slanging
I wouldn't
furniture.
even be mad at him. You know what I'm saying? If you're just taking an ottoman, I ain't even.
So when people came in the door, you was showing the furniture?
Oh yeah, bro.
Oh my, bro! If I could, fuck it, that would be my dream, dude. If I showed up and you got to show me,
I
furniture.
had the fade back then. My face had to be shaved. I had to wear makeup on my hands at one point because I got my hands tattooed, which ultimately got me fired. But I worked there for like 3 years. And then we were like, we would keep in touch with each other. He would hit me up, and I think it was around, it was when I got fired. I don't know if you had just graduated from Loyola, but he wanted to come and film
It sounds like the two of them had very different lives. Not very different, but really different. I mean, he's talking about Ruby going to Loyola and graduating, and you know, I think a different family had a restaurant, I guess, his family, I heard. But Scrim, you know, bare bones from the bottom, you know, scraping by with this little kit to DJ with, working at a used furniture store, not even a new furniture store, and just trying to get by, but still tatted himself up, didn't care, ended up getting fired. But you can tell he's had to make it like from the bottom up, and no expectations of this.
Yeah. I know from when I watched this before that they talk a little bit more about their upbringing and how they've grown up differently. So it's true. Yeah.
And Scrim was very clear. Like, I kind of want to stay behind the scenes. You know, I wanted to just do my thing and DJ in the background, but I wasn't a guy that was going to come out.
Yeah.
music video for one of my songs, which I thought he was trolling me the whole time. You know, like I was
said
like,
no the first time.
yeah, he's fucking with me, but
I said no.
He's the one that convinced me. He's like, nah, you're actually pretty good at rapping, bro. You should take this serious. And then from there, that's how we linked up. We did that video. And then
Wow.
G59 came about because that was like our little clique back in like high school and
Look
even
at
a little
them.
bit after high school. We thought we were thugs, bro. We thought we were gangsters and shit. And,
yeah.
It was everybody on the east side of Highway 59, and our color was gray. We thought we were banging and shit. We thought we were bad. And a lot of those guys either died from drug overdoses or got in trouble or some shit. So, but
Just the trauma they've
we
seen.
kept the name alive by like we got together. We're like, all right, you know, let's.
The name was already there.
Yeah,
Why not make it
he was.
something?
Yeah, Adi was the one that pointed that out. Like, this is let's roll with this.
Well, I just thought G59, Great 59 was a hard ass fucking name, and he was already repping it. So I figured we linked up. Why not just run with that?
Yeah.
You know.
Anything I missed? Like,
I was actually gonna say.
besides your side. Of,
No. I was gonna say it's funny because when he started making beats back in like 2008, 2009, he bought a MacBook, started making beats, and around that time I was getting really into like hip hop and currency and stuff, like being from down here.
Yeah.
And he was telling me he was making beats, and I was like, "Yo, can you show me how you do this? Like, I would be interested in learning." He's like, "Yeah, I got you." And he's like, "Show me how he does it," and he taught me how to make beats. And it's just so funny that now we're still doing the same shit.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it just kind of evolved from there, and then you start putting on shows locally.
Yeah, we would book shows on like in the North Shore and Baton Rouge or whatever. Because all right, let me be real with you, we knew no one was gonna come.
Yeah.
No one knew who the fuck we were. We were just starting out,
dude.
so we didn't expect anybody to come, and we would use those live shows as practice to see what is gonna work, what's not gonna work, the things we can do to fuck with the crowd and all that stuff. And at first,
We did a lot of open mics too.
a lot of open mics.
Wow,
we actually
open
won
mic
one of them.
performing or just as
Man.
comedy? No, as music.
It was
No, it was
music. It was
music,
like
yeah.
bands and rappers
to
and
win
all
like
sorts of shit.
$1,000.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Win
Third time.
Can you
$1,000.
imagine them going up with the way they create music? It's probably not the same as it is now, but the way they create music and how in your face and like harsh and dark sometimes it can be. An open mic, you hear
Well,
these two guys get up.
I mean, especially the shows like when they were really, really back in the day, like 2013-ish was some of the like early shows. Like I've seen videos of how like packed the because it's a small venue.
Yeah.
and they're like right in front of everybody like that.
They're on a stage that might be this much higher than the floor.
Yeah, it's
like
like-
it's.
yeah.
I wonder, did they have music, or does this talk about later? Did they have music that wasn't the death, suicide, horrible stuff? Because did it evolve into that where they were like, forget it? Or from the beginning, did they have that?
Let's keep watching.
And also, somebody said, check out the gun next to the on the table next to Scrim, sitting there.
Unlimited oysters.
And on
They'll-
our third time we did it, we won.
We wanted. We just took all that money and bought T-shirts,
That's so
like
cool.
blanks, and then we just printed all our own T-shirts,
Yeah.
and we would literally text people like, "Want to buy one?" And then Scott would like drive it to them and deliver
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bro, that's still what you guys, this whole thing feels like to me.
It does.
It doesn't feel small like that, but it feels like that.
Well,
Yeah.
dude,
Because I'll see like fonts and things, and it's like, I don't understand it because I haven't known the music from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, this is their world, but it's just beloved in that space, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that you say that because
Yeah.
fuck, what did you just say? Remind me what you just said.
About
Oh,
the f-
Yeah, you drove what you would drive over the delivery. That's a
Oh,
little
right.
area,
So it
bro.
is,
That's
in a way,
like
dude,
it still feels the same as
It
like
is the
These
same.
our
Scrim
room-
roll
you know,
up
obviously
on
we're
your
not
shirt.
driving T-shirts to people anymore, but Scott and I are still very much involved, very hands-on, and I think we fucking care, dude. Like,
Yeah.
this is our
They do.
baby, and
They
we
do.
love it, and it's loved us back, and we want to take care of it. And distancing ourselves from it because we've gained money and egos is not really something that we're interested in doing.
No.
And we're very aware of that too. You know.
Yeah, this
Love
shit
that
has
about them.
saved our lives, bro. I don't know any other force or consequence that might have been powerful enough to make us even consider to go get help and get clean. You know what I'm saying? Because we had something to live for, we had something to lose,
Yeah.
and not just the business, not just the label, but each other.
Yeah, it's bigger than us, dude.
You know?
I mean, we employ people, and
It's
you
way
know.
bigger than me,
Yeah.
him, and it's bigger than any of us.
And I
bro.
think that's something like he just said that we tell ourselves constantly to just keep ourselves down to earth, and
Yeah.
you know, because
Shrink
it's
the
easy,
ego.
dude, to be successful and get caught up in yourself. It's easy because If anything, you have to fight that shit off. You know what I mean?
I'm sure you know, bro.
Well, it's a battle I've dealt with, and some days I win, some days I lose.
For sure.
Over time, it's gotten better. Yeah, and especially if you're hands-on, used to doing things, and that becomes a part of because you want everything to be perfect. Learning to let other people help you. And then your ego can build without you even noticing it.
Oh, yeah.
You think like, oh, I'm just proud of myself, but that 95% of that cup could be ego. So it's interesting, man.
It is.
I think it's funny you say that though, Scott, like about the something saving you. Yeah, there's a lot of times where if I didn't have to I'm like, there's some temptation that'll happen the night before, and I'm like, I got a podcast tomorrow. Yeah. Or I have a show to do, or I have some responsibility. I got to get an edit for my producers, or one of them's waiting on an email from me or something, or I'm waiting from them, and it keeps me going.
Yeah, bro. I would have been, for a long time, I would argue that drugs kept me alive. Because I didn't know how to live in this world. I didn't want to live in this world at all. But at the same time, didn't quite have the balls to take myself out.
It's a scary thing.
So I'd say that drugs kept me alive for a long time. I mean,
what made you in so much pain, you think? Like, what was the tough part for you, you think?
Well, I think it was a mixture, dude. I think it was, like I said, just being born. Like, I just feeling out of place, like always, like something wasn't right.
Which is like a common theme with addicts.
Yeah.
I think I'm a large in the worlds of fucking media, but some of the worlds of 7XL.
Exactly.
Bro.
I'm wandering around in my own shirt. I'm trying to find a neck hole, bro.
So I think and they've done a lot of work on this, and they know it's like genetics. I won't get into all that, but part of that, and I think also the way I grew up, and when I say this, dude, I love everyone in my family. I'll go above and beyond.
This is what I tell people about the past in your life and family, especially in therapy. When you do your own work and you look at your own life honestly, you have to separate your feelings for people from the facts of what happened. So the facts of what happened in your life could be that your mom did this, your dad said this, people treated you this way, somebody was not there, somebody hurt you. Those are the facts. But somehow we mix those, and it's like we always have to make this premise of, man, I love everybody in my family. And what I always tell people like Scrim is, that's a given. I get that. I know who you are. I get that you feel that way. But in therapy, you have to put the facts out there, which was they weren't there. They didn't do that. They did this instead. And truth is, people do the best they can with what they have. Parents do the best they can with what they have. But children pay the price for adult choices. Children don't come into the world creating their own problems this way. And so I've talked to him about this with the brain development stuff and how the brain works and how it's wired and how we know how trauma affects the brain, and that you can go back and see trauma in a brain at a certain age. We can know that at 6 years old, you had a trauma in your life that has stuck because we see it in the scan. It's amazing, right? And if we do work on the brain with EMDR or something else, it can actually heal that trauma so that it's not there anymore. Therefore, you're not triggered in the future by the sights, sounds, and smells of other people and situations, so that you go back into that same trauma and be tempted to use. There is so much here, and it's interesting because we've talked about this, and especially with the genetics and the family patterns and the history, that you need to know he felt out of place, but the real reason behind that was how he was treated, where he lived, the environment that he saw, what happened in front of him that taught him how safe or not safe he was, that taught him how useful or not useful he was, that taught him how valuable or not valuable he was. So there's a whole lot there, and that's in relationships, that's in experiences, which create trauma, memories of trauma, which then manage to make their way up to the brain and create core memories, core beliefs in your brain that say, I'm not worth it, I'll never make it, I'm just gonna die, I don't deserve it, blah, blah, blah. This is really good stuff here.
I love everyone in my family. I'll go above and beyond for any one of them. But, everybody was doing the best they could with what they knew how to do. But it was still tough. It was some tough shit to grow up in, So that didn't help. But I'll tell you the biggest thing, and I'll shut up. That way I don't get too overwinded with this, because I have a tendency to do that. But I always thought like this thing, like, okay, the drugs are not working anymore. They're not doing it for me. But this thing's gonna do it for me. Once we get to that place, whatever that place is in my head,
Filling
whenever
a
I
hole.
get that thing, that's gonna do it for me. And then I got really suicidal when we got there, wherever there is,
And nothing changed.
and nothing changed. Now I feel worse. Because if this don't work, what's gonna do it? And that's when I really started to spiral. And for me, and I'll end it with this, the answer for me has been getting involved in the 12-step programs. And it's been more of a spiritual answer rather than the material,
Yeah, man. I remember I was in my garage. It was like probably 2 years ago, man. I was bawling, talking to my brother on the phone. I was like, nothing will save me. It was like I got people that like me. I thought that's what was my problem.
Same.
If enough people like me,
Yes,
I'll
bro.
like me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
And one day I was
Makes
just
me
like,
emotional.
It's ass backwards because
Yeah.
you have to like yourself first, and then
yeah.
the other stuff comes.
But it's crazy to think, man, that's kind of the way that it could kind of process and yeah, but I see you in the rooms, man. It gives me a lot of hope every time I see you.
Same
It
with
makes
you,
me-
bro.
makes
Dude,
me
I
wanna
was
keep
in
going,
I was in
and the way you run your rooms, bro, and not to overtalk you, but it's
No, you're
like
good, you're good.
you have a lot of respect of a lot of people in there, and it's cool, man.
I've been blessed, bro. And for you, bro, I was
Eat that vape.
yeah. They taste kind of shitty. You want a fresh one?
All right.
Come on, brother. Let me at least do you that service.
Yeah, bro, look. We can't be popping pills, bro.
Yeah. We're gonna nick it out.
I've been wearing Shady Rays, you know
Oh,
it.
man.
I like to have some special built pre-ray. If you don't personal,
The ads, even he promos. See, don't
Man.
get harsh on people that have ads because that's how they get paid.
Yeah. I
He
mean,
wants the vape. He's like, yeah, I'll take a fresh one. Why not?
go to Game Time. It's
Can't imagine
sponsored by
being in a 12-step room. I'd love to go listen to Scrim talk in a 12-step room and just kind of tell his story because you do hear good stories in those rooms.
Yeah, he was saying a lot of important stuff there.
I don't want to get overblown with that either, overwinded. This is my bread and butter. This is what I do every day, what he was just talking about. This is what he and I have talked about just in reminiscing about life and everything that he's been through and the story of like the drugs quit working. That can be the most desperate point you're at. And if you don't do something, then it will all end.
And
he went and got help.
you know what's crazy to me also when I heard this first time? Theo Von and the Suicideboys obviously are very famous. Like they're known by a lot of people. And for me to hear them talk about this stuff and to say that I thought that I would feel better when people liked me and people laughed at my jokes in Theo's case or liked my music. That's when they thought they were going to get satisfaction. It's crazy to me to think for people like just a normal Joe people look up to them and here they are talking about their struggles and they want to be accepted. Like to me, it's just crazy how you can take these guys who are so down to earth and humble and talk about it and realize like, hey, like everybody's just another person at the end of the day.
Self-esteem is very fragile. So sometimes we can look one way on the outside, but feel another way on the inside and not feel worth it. But I want to tell you this too, for all the people that tell me men have to suck it up, men have to shoulder a lot, men have, they can't show their feelings. It is contagious. Okay. Vulnerability is contagious when you're in a room. That's why 12-step meetings are so good a lot of times. But these guys are showing it. One gets vulnerable, which is Scrim. He's very good at that. He can just open up and be a regular person. Theo opens up about that. Ruby starts to open up. And you start to see it. Their normal conversation is about what hurts and what's sad and what they've had happen in their lives, not just these big stories. Vulnerability is contagious. If you get in a group of people who open up, like people I would sit with, I would want to lead that, and it spreads throughout the room. Ruby seems much more of an intellectual to me than I ever imagined. Seems very, very smart, intellectual.
Yeah, it does. Okay, let's keep going.
Load Game Time today. Last minute
Game
tickets,
Time.
lowest price guaranteed.
No, but Theo, I was 3 months sober, bro. Just living on my own. Just got to where I was living on my own in California, where I went got sober, and I came across your video on YouTube. That was my introduction to you, and it was why I got sober. It was that video, and then from there, you know, I watched that video and you inspired me, bro, and you gave me hope. And then that's when I did a deep dive on you. Started watching all like your greatest hits and highlights and shit, laughing my ass off. But
that's funny. Bro.
That's how I came to know you. But yeah, before we even knew each other, bro, you gave me a little bump when I needed it too with that video.
That's so cool.
Dang, man. Thanks, bro. Yeah, it's crazy kind of, I think, the connection that people get going through, like if they're using or if they're recovering. It's like on both sides of that, it seems like there's probably a lot of connection. You guys could probably speak to that, huh? You think?
What you mean?
Like even on the using side, there's like a level of connection that keeps people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, that'll keep you in the...
You know, you are who you're with, right? You know, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. It's that line.
You are who you hang with.
There's a community for using. There's a community for recovery. And a guy in my office one time said, you know, using is hard. Like it can be tough on you. Recovery is hard. Having a lot of money is hard. Mm-hmm. You know, being able to keep it and knowing what to do with it. Being broke is hard. Being overweight is hard. Being underweight or too skinny is hard. Living, needing to gain weight. Choose your hard is what he said to me at the end. He went through all these examples. He's like, choose your hard. That's what I heard from somebody. So you can weigh both sides, but the point is being in addiction is hard. Being in recovery is hard. Choose your hard. Which one do you want? It's not going to be just because you got this great group, then y'all are all using that life's great. No, it's just because y'all go to each other's level, sink down and don't want to, right? You don't want to call anybody out anymore because you're all doing the same thing. But when you're in recovery, all of a sudden you're in another group of people who want a better life. No different than physical, financial, spiritual, mental health.
Yeah.
Active addiction by, you know, you kind of almost, when I was buying pills and shit and snorting Roxys, I never wanted to do them alone. Mm-hmm. And so I would share with everybody and I was making money so I could buy a bunch and I would share with people that were my friends that didn't make as much money and they were happy to get free pills. And I could like be in my dark shit, but not alone. And I think a lot of addicts are chasing loneliness. They're chasing, they're having trouble with self-acceptance.
Yep.
And I think finding your little group of like similar drugs that you want to do together definitely makes you feel like you're safe and at home.
Yeah.
And then the exact opposite happens when you get off of them too. You find your people that want to stay away from that shit and it kind of strengthens your little community that you're in. You know?
Yeah.
What were some of the what have been some of the highlights? I mean, because you guys have a success that I think like a lot of people don't really know it in a lot of ways. A lot of people do, but y'all aren't a mainstream thing.
Yeah, it's
like, is that offensive to say? It doesn't feel offensive, right?
All. If anything, I kind of take offense to the opposite, that people do consider us mainstream, and I don't think we are. We are in maybe how popular we are or how many people listen to us, but you know, you're not going to see
people like to gatekeep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
especially our fan base.
Yeah,
they love to gatekeep.
What does that mean when people say gatekeep?
They feel like it's their thing.
Yeah.
You have to deserve to be our fan.
Yeah, it feels like that though.
Yeah.
You know, every fan that we meet, whether it's like we're just out and about and we run into somebody that recognizes us, ask him, and I bet you he'll back me up. 10 times out of 10, they tell me that they've listened to us since 2015.
Yeah.
Or they'll say, I've been listening to you guys since y'all started. I've been a fan since 2012.
Or since I was in 7th grade, and now they're 20-something.
Yeah, like, exactly. But the 2015 thing is funny.
Some of them still in 7th grade too, bro. Depending on what parish they from, bro. No disrespect, dude. Hey, bro, I did 5th twice, homie.
Yeah.
We've been in there, bro. We've all done a little sentence, man.
No, but
it is. It's their world. That's why even like with talking with you guys, it feels, since I wasn't there from the beginning, you don't feel a little bit of, you're like, oh, this is their thing. Even when I meet y'all's fans, it feels like that.
Yeah.
It feels like they're people that have feelings and they've been through something. That's what it kind of feels like. Y'all's shows are real interesting, man, because it's such a it's such a kickoff, and then it's almost like running downfield the whole show. You know, it just feels like
that's a good way to.
It's intense, man, and the crowd gets going. I mean, there's a lot going on. You got the people up by the front, just like almost like it's like a big lung up there. They're just kind of
big lung.
Like
He taught me this early on, man. Like we were doing a show. We were about to do a show in New York, and only 3 people were showing up. And me and some other rappers were like, "Fuck this, we ain't doing this." And he taught me a lesson early. He's like, bro, it doesn't matter if one person shows up or thousands. Like, you give that person a show. And ever since then, I've ran with that, you know. And it's like anytime I'm out there, like,
you did take to that.
Yeah, if these people are paying to come watch me perform, then the last thing I want to do is just sit there. You know, like I want
your own self,
and just like be still. I don't know if that makes sense, but I want to go out there and give them energy, like give them everything I got. Dude.
And like I said, dude, worst case scenario, one person showed up, it's a fucking practice. Like you keep you don't get rusty, you keep it going because, you know, we'll tour once a year, really 2-3 months at the end of the year, and the first few shows we do, it's we kind of like forget what to say. Or we'll forget certain lyrics. We're like, fuck, dude, we've done this for 10 years. How are we forgetting this shit? But you have to get back in the groove.
Yeah, you got to get back in the groove, man.
Yeah.
So you guys, now there's a new album coming out. What is it like to like evolve? Like, is it scary to evolve? I think about it even like in comedy and stuff. I'm like, what the heck? Like, you know, some of your like people that listen to you, they listen to you at a certain age, but they're getting older too.
Yeah.
Some of them are all different ages. So how do you try and apply to everybody?
I'm really glad you asked this.
Well, and my question to them before they answer is, how have they managed recovery and still keeping their music going? How does it change themes and they keep doing the same style but with a different theme? Or do they try to keep the music kind of the same because it's who they are, which is different than how they live now? So do they preach the old school stuff while they're recovering, or do they change it?
That's a great question.
And how do you try to also apply to yourself at the same time?
So we might have two different.
I think it'll be, well, at
What you
first,
think, Rube?
I think at first we were scared to kind of change the sound up because the formula was working.
Yeah.
And we were worried about like introducing new stuff because what if they don't like it and this and that? And the more successful you get is like the scarier it gets because you think one wrong fucking move and it all crumbles, which isn't true. But we started experimenting, doing some like singing stuff or whatever, and people seemed to fuck with it. And then we got to a point to where we didn't really care if they didn't like it or not. Scott and I have been making this music for so long now that if we want to try something experimental or new, I think we deserve to at this point. So it can be a scary thing, but I think, you know, don't fear it and just do it and see what happens.
Yeah,
you know?
I think I agree 100% on everything you said. On a more, I don't know if you went through this too, but for me on a more personal level, when I got sober, it was like I was so scared because I thought my drug use fueled all my creativity.
Yeah, that was definitely a thought for sure.
Yeah, and so like for me, once I finally did start getting back into it, it was literally like learning how to walk all over again.
It is.
Really?
And the sound did kind of change as a result of that, beat wise, production wise.
Upbeat, more like less scary and sad sounding.
Yes. So I think the evolution of our music has matched exactly
the evolution of us.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
That's how I look at it.
What was it like? Like,
Which is what it's supposed to do. Your creativity, your art, whatever you do is supposed to get better as you get better. And so if they evolve, sure, their music is gonna be different.
Yeah.
Right. If you stay sick, if you stay using, your music's going to stay the same theme. And so I love the idea that they can create similar style music, but in a healthier way, which is why I loved the last line of the song, right? Heavy is the crown, so I cede to the cross by Scrim, that they can put in their music where their life is today.
Yeah.
you're like on pills and you're deep out on pills, I never really got that out on them, you know? If you're like Huff and Trank or whatever, I don't even know what some of the names of them are, you know?
What is that?
Them fucking swamp pebbles or whatever y'all buying out here.
Just looking for anything now.
Looking for a neck hole.
Oh, bro, they'll fucking have a tilapia flavored perk out here, bro. In New Orleans, they don't give a shit, bro. You'll have a fucking pecan crusted Zan bar out here, bro. You're like, what the fuck? Everybody wants to be a chef in this
That's pretty
motherfucker,
funny.
bro. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
You'll have a
Praline Adderalls. Yeah.
Oh, you'll have a bag of chaw grilled somas over here, bro. Like, that place is crazy, dude.
That's pretty funny.
Bro.
But what was it like making music when you're under that influence? Is it even possible to make music when you're like that kind of pill high? I don't know. So I'm just curious, like, or is it just possible to just like listen back, or do you feel was there any creativity from the actual high of that?
I don't know if we work differently, because I know sometimes you would wait until after we were done, but this was early on to smoke. Yeah.
Weed is. I still smoke weed.
I couldn't go without it. Now, Ruby couldn't either. You know what I'm saying? So we were constantly on it all day. Yeah. So it's kind of like just feeling normal.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, it was.
Don't you doze off and shit?
I mean, that's like, look.
Well, how do you find your time when you're both awake at the same time to make a track?
When you take a Percocet first thing in the morning or whatever, your Oxy, whatever it is, it's gonna give you a boost. Like I'll come out of that bathroom snorting something and I'm like, "What's up, motherfuckers?" Yeah. Like I'm like on one, and then as you keep dosing, at the end of the day, it's kind of like when you've done all day and that's when you start to kind of nod off. It's like your body's like, okay, I'm tapping out.
For me, I was mixing so much stuff, so much.
This kid was all over the fucking place
and down, but you could hear it in the music now. Sometimes we go back for laughs and we'll listen to some of the shit I made when I was like in psychosis.
What would you say is the most fucked up
and
you ever were for an album?
I Want to Die in New Orleans.
I think mine is.
Yeah.
I think mine is.
I hate that album.
Stop Staring is mine.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate that album. You did phenomenal on it, but I was so far gone, dude. I was literally in psychosis from doing so much speed and downers, bro. I thought Southwest Airlines was trying to kill me. I thought
that story was, bro.
I thought Kyle took a life insurance policy out on me for 70 grand.
This motherfucker.
Yes, bro, that's the most New Orleans shit ever. Bro. Somebody takes a life.
So this is one of the stories that was probably one of the most popular things in this podcast when Scrim tells the story. So just get ready. It's a funny story.
In psychosis. What year was
this motherfucker?
Yes, bro, that's the most New Orleans shit ever. Bro. Somebody takes a life insurance policy out for $700, bro, just for wanting to make it their truck payment. That's the fucking most New Orleans shit, bro.
I remember that we were in New Zealand when he told me that he thought that they were putting a hit out on us.
Yeah,
he thought like.
Now, what do you say when he sits you down?
Oh, bro, I put them through hell.
Look,
bro.
At one point, I was starting to get really impatient with it because like I was tired of explaining. I was tired of explaining that like this insane theory wasn't actually happening. One time
I thought he had my phone tapped.
This was one time with
So it was 2018 was when that album came out. Okay. So 2017 probably when they were making it. 2016, I don't know, sometime around then.
But wow, I wonder, like, Ruby's in New Zealand, he's here. They must have been kind of doing their own thing at this point, and Scrim was about to tap out, I think.
Yeah.
Insane theory wasn't actually happening. One time
I thought he had my phone tapped.
This was one time he quit Suicideboys on Twitter. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, I remember.
I'll pause it for you.
Done. Love y'all. Thank you for everything. Sorry it went like this, but it's not worth my family health nor money. Hopefully one day I'll drop a tape for y'all. Thank you again. Just know there are two sides to every story. Wow. So that was a post.
And
I remember where I was
at the time. He had just bought a condo in Bradenton, Florida, outside of Sarasota. And I can't get in touch with him. Kyle can't get in touch with him. And we decide let's go out there. Let's just press him. Let's be in person. So long story short, we fly down there, rent a car, drive to his apartment. And he doesn't expect us. He doesn't know we're coming. We go upstairs and I knock on the door and he's like, 1 second. And I think to myself, like, man, I just flew out here and fuck that. I'm not waiting a second. I was like, bro, I'm here. What's up? Like, what's the problem? And he was like, give me a second. He had to go to the bathroom, do his little thing, to catch my drift. And then we came outside and he was ready to talk. And this long story to say, I was trying to like see, I was like, is he fucking with me? Is he lying to me? Does he think I'm stupid? Or does he actually believe this shit? And is he fucking crazy?
Yeah.
So I had to sit him down.
This is the part a lot of people don't understand when you get far enough gone, especially with drug use and in psychosis, like Scrim said, is he might look just like this. Like he might look regular and normal and you might think he's messing with you, but that's actually what he believes because the brain is so sick at that point that that's what he sees.
Bro, the Southwest thing. Do you think that the board, like the people on the board of Southwest, sit in a boardroom?
Southwest Airlines, and they discuss how we're gonna assassinate Scrim from Suicideboys. And he looked at me dead in the eyes, the most serious look on his face, and he goes, "Yes." And I lost my mind, bro. I took my phone and I threw it I was trying to hit the grass, but I hit the sidewalk. The fucker sparked. Yeah. And that pissed you off even more.
Yeah.
I thought they were trying to kill me because my brother had bootlegged one of our tracks and because he was bad off on dope and sold it to this person for like
Rando.
$800,
Yeah.
but actually didn't
Man.
give him the song
Right.
and just scammed him. And I
Oh,
thought
wow.
the person he scammed was the son of somebody on the board of Southwest, and they were just gonna take me out.
To speak on the other,
Bro.
to speak on the other
Man.
side of things, I'm thinking, what is coming out of his mouth? Is it real or not? Come to find out, the story of his brother stealing a song and selling it is true.
So it's like,
And I'm sitting there and I feel bad because I'm like been calling him a liar in my head and all this shit. And then I find out it's true. So then I'm like, all right, so is all of this true? I still refuse to believe that the board of Southwest is meeting to discuss his assassination, but
I had my brother and my family
that was a
believe
crazy
I had,
fucking time.
bro. I was very convincing. I had fans tweeting at Southwest Airlines on Twitter. I did. Yeah, it was.
So many.
That's crazy.
But that was toward the end. That
Yeah.
was like when I was really spiraling.
Fuck, dude.
I wonder what year that was, because you said it was 2017.
Well, 18 when the album came out. So.
Remember when they did the No Jumper podcast? Because they were pretty far gone then from just what I could tell. I think that was around 16, 15 or so? Because, man, they looked like they could care less about anything and they were just here for the moment and it may not last. So very curious when that would be. But what a story, right?
It's interesting though that you guys were at least had a close enough connection, because a lot of bands fall apart from that kind of stuff. A lot of or
Damn.
groups, a lot of teams
true.
fall apart. Everything falls
We're
apart.
family.
I'm glad you
I don't know
brought
you
that.
know that, but we're family.
Right, but for you to go there and want to actually just to think, let me see what's really going on
Dude,
with
we've
them.
never even hit each other. Like we've gotten in each other's
gotten
faces,
close, yeah.
ready to fucking beat the shit out of each other. And we've both been able, like, you're my cousin, and I don't want to I don't want to hit you.
Yeah.
I fucking hate you right now, but I'm not going to touch you. Like, and it's gone both ways. And
Yeah.
I'd say that the family thing, which obviously doesn't apply to everybody, but we've been able to look at the fact that we're cousins and the fact that we provide for our families, which is a shared family, as a reason to never give up on each other.
Yeah.
If this was just one of my friends, I don't think it would have been the same.
Right.
No,
No Jumper podcast was December of 2015.
15,
A
yeah.
long time ago.
They were pretty far off. So I could see him spiraling then. Okay.
Like,
no.
No way.
That's good that you brought that up, because a lot of groups just don't make it in general, and doing business with family is usually not a smart way to go. No. But for us, I mean,
it's the only time it worked out.
yeah, I think it's just a unique situation, bro. We both got the same granny to answer to, and she ain't nothing nice. You know what I'm saying? Like she done,
that's a
she
scary
done
woman,
FaceTime
bro.
me before.
Scary woman.
She done FaceTime me before, being like, "You making music without your cousin?" You know, like
that's
shit,
too
like
much.
pressing
Yeah.
me.
I was like, and I'd have to call her and be like, Granny, I got it. Like,
Yeah.
He's gonna think that I'm like fucking venting to you. Like,
Does she stay up late or no?
I don't think
Granny?
so.
Nah,
She's almost 80
Granny.
now.
She was
so-
a bus driver for the parish, Jefferson Parish,
Yeah.
her whole
West
pretty
Bank.
much her whole life. Yeah, bro. Drove me to school from kindergarten
Oh,
to
that's
high
so
school.
cool.
Dang, brother.
Real working woman,
A
bro.
long
And
bus.
Wagaman.
She would manhandle like grown like seniors. in
Oh,
high
bro,
school.
yeah,
Like,
she didn't want to fuck.
yeah.
I watched her.
I'm telling you, you don't want to fuck with that lady.
Oh,
She's
in
from Wagaman, bro.
Oh, come on,
No,
man.
they throw down.
The first seat, they'll have a crock pot going in that.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro, they got lunch going in that.
I made you pot of gumbo.
Bro, they'll just be giving that's back when the bus and I'm gonna just pick up a strange on that.
Yeah,
You'd have two raccoons in the fourth row, bro. You know,
A fucking nutria,
anything in that bitch, bro.
yeah. Bro.
Dude, the bus people used to cut like it used to be like the green seat cover. Or might have, sometimes they were green and sometimes they were black. People would cut a little like slice in there. And people put dope all. The bus, they didn't even realize
Dang.
the bus the whole time was just driving dope around the fucking city.
Damn.
Come
I never thought of
on.
that.
Yeah, for
Oh,
real.
people would keep everything. They would slice it in the back. The inside of the seat was hollow. People would keep all kind of shit.
I
in
was
there.
too busy.
Crafty motherfuckers,
I was
bro.
too busy fingering girls in the back of the bus.
Hey, bro. Oh, you was in the 11th row.
Yeah,
Yeah, bro. That was really that was the
never-
red light district of the bus.
Granny, put it on Q93. Yeah.
Q93. Yeah.
Wild Wayne.
Dude. Remember Wild Wayne, bro? Mm-hmm. What were some of the
yeah.
things they would?
That's wild.
I can't speak to that. I don't know what to say.
I was trying to do that. I forgot that part was in here.
Don't make me talk about that.
say on there.
Q93 boys.
But it does
when this-
show his attachment style. His style. His attachment was to his granny and his pawpaw. So the grandparents there were Scrim's attachment for sure. Not so much to the parents. Loves his parents, loves his family. He's always said that to me, how much he loves his family. But I think his main attachment and who really was there for him, cared for him, and set boundaries with him was them.
The Saints were going to the Super Bowl. Q93 hosted like some show at the Howlin' Wolf, and they had like that year, because the Saints were doing so well, everybody came out with the Saints song. You remember that shit? Remember that shit? And
Yeah.
While Wayne hosted this show, there's like all these Saints rappers out there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Look up Wild Wayne Q93. See if we could play you in the intro.
I remember DJ Rowe would come on either 4 or 5 o'clock every day. DJ Rowe in the mix.
It's on now. Baton Rouge. It's official professional recording artist.
Yeah.
Savage Squad have teamed up with the hottest
I pitched the idea to Wind the Court that they need to advertise on Q93. And they did it.
They did it?
They did it. Wild Wayne, all them came in.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, we was bumping, bro.
That's touching.
Damn, this is 2002,
bro.
bro. It's crazy.
We were
crazy.
selling the shit out some furniture after that.
Did y'all was there some moments where you guys got to connect with some local artists when y'all started coming up, or how did that kind of go?
Man,
No, we've gotten. I'm gonna say it.
Go ahead,
the
bro.
city fucking hates us, bro.
Yeah.
They do.
We don't get no love.
We don't get
Really?
any love from the city. Not from people in the city, artists, nothing.
We don't.
Interesting.
I
We're not
can't
even doing a show this year
believe that.
in New Orleans because we don't
What?
feel love, and we're kind of a little annoyed.
Yeah, we got out
Wow.
of every arena we went to last year. New Orleans absolutely treated us the worst.
Like garbage, dude. Like we were.
It was-
like they were doing us a favor. Like,
Yeah, I was actually like mind blown by it. But
And what is it? Do you think?
I
what do you
cannot
think?
believe that where they're from and where they've come to and what they've done with their lives, and they felt the worst in New Orleans.
Some of that is you guys. You guys are something so different.
right.
I don't know if that has something to do with it.
I
but
think people get turned off by the name, Suicide Boys, and I know that like
That's
Nicky
fact.
Loomis doesn't fuck with us because of that.
Yep.
But what a lot of people don't understand is it's not, you know, it might have started off as like a way to say stupid shit, but it's definitely become a thing that people relate to, and it's become an important part of some kids' lives. And you know, Scott and I want people to do well. You know, we're not like trying to like tear people down. So it's funny how people get the wrong idea.
I'm glad you said that because we never intended. We never had like this grand idea or intention for it to turn into this like community and turn into
No.
what it, or like have kids being like, yo, you saved my life, or like the emails that Kyle and them get.
Dude, fan letters,
Yeah,
like, all sorts of shit.
So I think if people were to dig past the surface, you know, they would see. But I think that also goes into like, this is bigger than us, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
it's real interesting, man. I get more requests for you guys than anybody
Really?
ever.
Really?
Dude,
I feel like kind of the same, bro. Everybody's been like, yo, y'all gotta go on Theo.
money sign to be when they sending it, bro. At first, I thought it was people just trying to get me to send them Cash App. I didn't know.
Sending money to OB.
Yeah, the first 1,000 I got, I'm like,
funny.
who the fuck is this guy, bro? This dude, they running a GoFundMe for this group.
Yeah, be hurting.
But then I was like, oh, damn, everybody wants to see these guys. This episode is sponsored by Blue.
All right.
Another at Blue Chew. He's even doing Blue Chew, man. Theo is doing some work. Please don't get upset with people who have ads.
Hey, better.
BetterHelp.
Sponsored by BetterHelp. Did you guys did y'all watch the Poirier fight? You guys watch UFC?
Yeah, I did this weekend. Did you catch it?
I didn't see it.
I caught it. I was struggling to stay up, bro. I go to bed. I'm like a grandpa now ever since I got sober, but
It was late as hell. We were there. He
Yeah.
didn't go on stage or whatever till 12:30.
I watched it, man. Yeah, I was rooting for him, bro. And
The Lafayette boy.
Yeah.
I think he did great, bro.
Me too.
He did
Who won? I
great.
don't even know.
He lost.
Islam
He lost.
won.
Yeah, Islam won.
What was in it? What by a chokehold?
Yeah,
And
but
then-
it was so close. It was in the 4th round.
But if this was a crawfish eating competition, you know who would have won.
Yeah, all day.
Look, he's almost shaped like a crawfish right there. Getting out of his. Dustin didn't win, but I really didn't feel like he lost. I mean, this dude. Everybody thought this dude was gonna roll. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to say that's safe to say, Nick, huh? People thought that Islam was gonna beat him because he beats everybody.
Yeah.
And Dustin took that dude.
So he put
He's
up
a
a good
dog,
fight,
bro.
Yeah,
Dustin is a dog, bro.
he
you gotta
fought,
be, bro. You gotta be.
and you could tell, man. It's just interesting the different ways a lot of people use to express themselves. You know, like if it's music or comedy or art.
Well, we've both gotten into training,
Boxing.
boxing.
Yeah?
Wow.
Yeah.
We've been doing that for the past couple of years, and
Yeah.
bro, that in itself is an art and a science and something to be respected. So now when I watch this, I have a whole different. I grew up watching it with my papa anyway. He was a boxer, but like I watch these guys, bro, and the amount of respect I have for them just in the little training
Same.
that we do. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, fuck.
It seems like
these guys are built different.
anything you watch, skateboarding, boxing, whatever it is, it seems easy. And then once you actually get in it, you realize, oh, this is not easy. Like, you throw 4 punches and you're winded, and you're like, how the fuck these dudes do this for 9 rounds? Like,
Good point.
Oh yeah, this is him at the end. I think we can play this.
And I'm not 100%, but if this is my last fight,
No.
I wanted to dedicate this journey to the people who made me the man I am, and that's the women in my life. To my grandmother,
Hell yeah.
I miss you every day. And I know I'm still protected by your prayers.
Hell yeah.
To my mother, we've had a crazy life. I love you. Thanks for always having my back. And to my wife, I love you so much. I wouldn't be standing right here without you. And babe, Jolie, I don't know if I'd be breathing, honestly, if it wasn't for you. And to Parker, Daddy's mine. I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. We all right,
Oh,
baby.
it's so funny, dude.
Always
Yeah.
chase your dreams.
What a beautiful moment, man.
Really cool.
You're an incredible man, Dustin Poirier.
You said that's his last
Thank you very
fight?
much for everything.
I hope
He's
not.
not sure. He's a
Damn.
fighter, man. I think the thing about him, he just like even if he don't get the W, it's like there's something about him. He shows up to fight.
Yeah.
And that's what I think everybody can relate to. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, I can go fight. You know, I can fight through another day in my life, whether it's just feeling okay
Yeah.
or
Well, when he was talking in the post conference interviews, he was bringing up the uncertainty of his future, and anytime lately people bring that up, it makes me think, about us and
what we would do.
Yeah, and what's next.
I think we just give up music, train for 10 years, and then we can put on our own headlining fight.
I'm about it.
Me versus you.
I don't want to
La,
do
la,
that.
la. We can pull like
Scrum.
The Sopranos, and right as the fight's about to start, it fades to black. We collect our money.
Oh yeah,
We're out.
that's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's
I'm not
brilliant.
gonna hit you, bro. I just told him I'm not gonna fucking hit
That's
you.
brilliant.
y'all
That's
could fight
brilliant.
somebody. Maybe the Yin Yang twins. How old are they?
Yeah, yeah.
Bro, they have one of the best Cribs episodes ever. The Yin Yang Twins. They're just like shouting random noises like the whole
Oh
time.
yeah.
That shit was so entertaining.
That's it.
Yeah, they got the Saints took their song, wasn't it?
Man, I wanted them to talk about what they're going to do and what their plan is.
Yeah, I always thought that was kind of weird. Some
It was
ATL
interesting.
boys.
K Gates.
Or
K Gates took the beat and made it into the we yelling who that. The who that say they're gonna
Oh, really?
damn Saints.
oh, okay.
Yeah, but I think there was like some copyright issue.
That's them?
Yeah.
That's Yin Yang.
So K Gates took it and
He
made
made the hook
a
as like
version.
who that, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
At the game, you'll hear the Yin Yang Twins version.
Yeah.
But New Orleans is interesting, man. A lot of unique. Bro, I was walking down. This is how we even got this art. I'm walking
pretty
down the
cool.
street when I saw, going next door to get a coffee. I was thinking, man, it would be cool if we had some neat art. There's a dude sitting outside blazing with his homie.
Yeah.
Oh shit, it's Louis Armstrong, I think. Or somebody, it's a jazz player.
This dude Tyrell Shaw, and
there he is.
this is his art, man. And he's like, I was like, dude, I'm about to chat with the Suicide Boys. You want to put a piece in?
That's cool.
He's like, yeah, man.
That's fire that you put them on like that. I respect that.
Supporting local art, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that's the
Pretty
thing
cool.
about New Orleans. I mean, you could walk half a block.
You'll see talent in the streets.
You'll see You'll either disappear in a pothole,
Shit,
bro.
we got no love in
you
the
will
beginning.
disappear in a pothole.
We was
bro.
handing out mixtapes and them bitches was going in the trash right
Bro,
after.
actually, I'm gonna tell the LSU story.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Scott,
fuck.
when we first started like recording and making music, really first attempting to do this shit, we made a CD for him, a mixtape for him. We got it printed, made 500 of them. I made the cover for him. La la la. We go, what are we gonna do with this? Let's go to shows and colleges. Let's go hand this shit out.
I
Old
gotta
school,
put these
right?
shades on for this one.
And this is also like in 2013. So we're going old school. We go to LSU campus. We're staying with my brother because he's going to school there at the time.
Wow. So y'all didn't go hand shit out?
Oh yeah. And we
Yeah.
go in like that big part of the campus where like all the traffic, all the people are walking by. It's like in between
Oh, yeah, the
classes.
quad.
Me and Scott handing out CDs. Like, oh, you fuck with rap? Check this out. Whatever. Bro, first of all them CDs ended up in the trash. Like every
Yeah.
fucking one.
Yeah.
We turned around 3 feet away from us is the CD on the ground.
Man.
But the funniest thing that happened that day was, I love this part. It was
This is funny.
some girl, this like nervous freshman heading to class, bunch of books in her bag. You could tell she's like kind of on edge. She's riding her bike and she comes in front of me and Scott and rolls over his shoe. And Scott, well, we both do, but Scott loves white shoes. And, you know, the thing with white shoes is don't fucking scuff them, like
Yeah.
keep them clean.
And don't ride a bike over.
Don't ride a
Yeah,
bike
don't
over
ride.
them. And
It's not
dude,
asking much.
he flipped out And I'm just like laughing the whole time because I just thought it was funny. But he was like, what the fuck? And this girl looked so scared, bro. And you gotta understand, this motherfucker still looked like this too back then. And she took off, bro, did not look back. And I'm just like dying laughing, like the white shoes, man.
He's like, I'll floor your whole fucking house.
Bro, I lost count of how many fights I got in growing up over stepping on people's shoes, bro.
It's a sign of
That's how
disrespect.
we met. That's how me and Kyle met at Fountain Blue, because this dude was cutting the line. I stepped in his way. It was exam week. I was starving. It was chicken tender and
I'm about
macaroni.
to say it's chicken tender day.
Yeah, it's chicken
We
tender
just had a
day.
lunch lady on. That's the biggest day.
Here he
yeah.
come. He's cutting the line with his homies. I'm like, nah, this ain't happening today,
doing
bro. I
that,
step
bro.
in the way. I step on his shoes. And then after, next thing I know, I'm fighting him, both of his sisters who were built like linebackers, and a couple other guys.
A lot of shouldery women in that area.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's how me and Kyle. That's how we met. He was like, "Yo, come roll with us from here on out." Because
You went to Fountain Blue
so check this out. When I first moved up there,
I love this.
I was
because that's in St. Tammany Parish. That's,
so yeah. So look, I grew up on the West Bank, bro. I'm Henry Ford. I'm used to.
If I may,
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to set you up.
Yes.
You know this, but for our audience, the Mandeville is the area of like the families that wear all white and take family portraits at the beach.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the
Mandeville's,
vibe.
it's fancy.
That's
over
the
there.
vibe. Yeah. So my bad. Continue.
No,
It's
thank you
fancy.
for that.
And West Bank is definitely different, bro.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a lot of
Way
places.
We're
grimier.
doing what we gotta do to get by.
Yeah, way
You'll have a
grimier.
fucking you'll have somebody get buried in an oyster
Yeah.
half shell or
Yeah.
something over there. You'll
Yeah.
have they got some couple cuties over there in tall timbers. I know that, but otherwise,
Yeah.
it gets a little bit. You never know, bro. You'll have
Yeah.
a dude have his eyes taken out of a couple dice put in.
No,
his head,
100%.
Type
100%.
shit,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, all day.
So
So
Scott's coming from that area.
I moved. Yeah. So
Scott's moving in.
Yeah.
our neighborhood's getting really bad. We just had my youngest brother. My dad's like, all right, I'm getting the family up out of here. Moved to Lacombe, right by Mandeville. So I go to Fountain Blue, right? I show up there. I got cornrows in.
Mm-hmm.
I got big tall tee. Remember tall tees? I had the big tall
bro.
tee on. I had some Jabos that's about as baggy as these pants.
Man.
And my bus driver was black. And even him, when I walked in the bus, he said, "What the fuck are you doing?"
So alien just landed, bro.
That's first thing this man tells me on my first day of school to ever get on the bus, 5 a.m. He said, "What the fuck are you doing?"
That's a long shirt you was in too.
So
bro.
I'm like-
Scott got on the shirt. It took a few more seconds. The shirt.
Yeah,
got
he
on.
It did. It
He had
did.
somebody behind him, like, what the-
You think about this though, and he comes from, a really poor area with not much for him in life, and I just wonder how much he always faced this. Like when you're in a place where everybody's the same, it's one thing, but when you move to a place where you're now mixed in with other people who are more affluent, all of a sudden he's probably always dealt with not having enough, not being enough, not expecting much more. And then he gets on a bus and this guy says this. What in the world?
So I sit down and I'm like, then I get to the school. It's 2,000 white kids, bro.
Oh, yeah.
So you want to talk about culture shock? I was like, I thought I landed on another planet.
Yeah.
So did they.
Yeah. I thought,
They thought another-
good point. Bro, no one talked to me for a year.
Oh, I could see that, bro.
I was
Just-
by
yeah.
myself.
Judging
for a
me.
year.
Man.
Asbestos
And
fear,
it took
probably.
took me getting into a fight for Kyle and them to be like, all right, you good, come on.
Damn.
And then that's
That is a way to prove yourself.
That's
like,
the
to
short
show that you
version
don't
of the
fuck
story.
around,
yeah.
There's something about walking around a school though when nobody talks to you that you create this own universe in your head.
Oh
bro.
yeah.
My high
Like,
school.
it's
was
Sorry,
on-
go ahead.
No, it's like a first person game. It's like you're living in a first person shooter world.
Oh, yeah.
then, you know.
It's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
I was gonna say he had that experience. My experience in high school. I went to Jesuit. It was all boys, Catholic prep
Catholic
school, whatever.
school.
And I definitely did not fit in that school. To this day, if I
I
say
didn't know you went to jazz.
See, when I say I went to Jesuit, people are like, "What? You went to Jesuit?" And I got involved with drugs early. I was like 14.
Earlier than me.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say that story too. I was like 14, and I was like, I'm gonna try it all because I just tried weed and it wasn't as bad as they said it was. So I'm gonna try it all. I'm gonna fuck bitches. I'm gonna do crack, all that shit. I did it all.
Oh, yeah, I love how those are the two. That's the crazy
Fuck
thing about
bitches and
drugs.
smoking crack. Yeah,
did.
Which is funny because those two things really don't go together, actually. But anyway, I like spread this rumor about myself. I was snorting heroin on my desk in geometry class.
Oh, yeah.
And I did it because I got off to like how everybody thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
And I liked it. I liked people thinking I was crazy. So I let the rumor spread. when they got back to me, it was like, oh, Adi slangs crack downtown to pay for his high school, la la la. That's like what they were saying about me.
That's pretty
And
sick.
I confirmed all of it.
Dude, to pay for your own way to private
Yeah.
school.
Well,
That's
why would I
fucking
do
sick.
that, first of all? Second of all, I confirmed it all. I was like, yep, all that's true. And let me tell you something, bro. No one fucked with me. Like,
That's true.
Everyone let me be. They thought I was cool, whatever. And that was my way of like getting all those guys to fuck off, you know?
It's an entrepreneurial thing. Yeah, that dude is.
Yeah.
It's always been like
It's
that.
also like doing the most for like what? You know?
Yeah.
yeah.
That was a fun time though, bro. Yeah, we used to always hear stories about Lil Wayne driving to school. Did y'all hear that story? That Lil
I
Wayne,
believe
like somebody got him a car when he was 14. He didn't even have a license,
I believe it.
and he would drive to school when it was like a Hummer. I don't know, whatever was hot at the time.
Fucking prowler.
Yeah, something like that. And he would drive in parked by the teachers and shit, and nobody said nothing.
Yeah,
that
what
was
you
like
gonna
a
tell
rumor
him?
that we always heard.
Shit, that dude was famous since he was 14. That shit's crazy.
Yeah.
And in Juvenile, they used to have a rumor he chased a woman with an ice pick.
That wasn't a
over there.
rumor. I'm pretty sure that was real.
Man.
North Shore.
in the neighborhood I live in.
I remember like,
As a result of that, when
At
I
least
was
name a road after him, bro.
well,
They gotta
check
give him
this out. When I was
respect.
when they found out I was moving in, the whole HOA had a meeting about a rapper.
oh, just recently.
No, when I first moved into that neighborhood a couple years ago,
Okay.
they had a meeting about
Oh my
whether or
gosh.
not we like this rapper moving in. But I mean, little do they know that. I mean, dude, I'm so low key, bro. Ain't
It happened
shit
to us
going
too when we had recently moved to
Oh,
Florida.
Florida, too?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they found out these two rappers were moving into the neighborhood,
Not
and they
happy.
threw a fucking fit, bro. They were not having it, and then we moved in. They realized we like are quiet, nice,
Yeah, bro,
friendly
so
guys. Yeah, I was like picking up my neighbor's kid from his school, like the other day. Yeah, bro. Like,
Well, I think there's been a history of like, I mean, you had like, when I was in college,
That's the key is people don't look deep enough into what their story is and who they are. We immediately judge by the way people look, or when you hear the word rap, or when you make a judgment on their name, and not enough on looking further, which is why people ask me, right? When I show them the picture that I have of being with them and meeting with them and what music I like, immediately judge instead of saying, no, they're actually really nice people. So it might be good to get to know them.
Master P would come over to the rec center and shoot ball.
Oh,
And he
really?
would come with Silk, and he would come with
Shout out
fucking
Silk.
sick,
yeah. He would come with Silk's still in jail, isn't he?
No, see, Murder's still in jail.
See Murder, yeah.
See, Murder would come with them, and they would have all kind of guys over there. But then some of those, yeah, like See Murder went to jail. You had Juvenile went to jail for a while. Then BG went to jail. I think there's so much history of a lot of New Orleans rappers, like Mystical went to jail.
Oh, yeah.
So you have a lot of that culture. I think it probably
Damn, I didn't even put all that together. Like how many New
it
Orleans
gets fearful
rappers?
for a lot of guys.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Boosie was in jail for
A long time. Like what, 5 years, 4 years?
8, I think, maybe 7.
8? God damn.
I mean, when you think about that,
That's
Well, that's
crazy.
why Boosie moved out, bro. That's why he
BG
got
was in
out
jail
of
for like a
here.
decade.
I
With your
know.
dad? Like they were in the.
Oh
they was
yeah,
in
when
jail
my dad
together?
was
Really?
in there. Yeah, BG
No
was in
way.
there.
His
Yeah.
dad told us a story about his dad was in St. Tammany and so was BG. Apparently BG one day just got fed up. Because imagine being a rapper, you go to jail, how many people are trying to freestyle to
Yeah,
you?
oh my God.
You know, like put me on, whatever.
Wow.
And apparently
put
one,
me on and I'm in jail.
They
Yeah,
did it
put me on.
downstairs. Just walking in here, they were doing it. But go
There
ahead.
you go. Exactly. So apparently BG one day makes an announcement to everybody saying, if one more motherfucker comes up to me and freestyles, I'm gonna have a big problem. And they said, okay, bet. And they just beat the shit out of him anyway or something like
Yeah,
that.
it
But
was-
first, I don't know.
yeah.
Your dad was in St. Tammany?
Yeah, he was in St. Tammany. He
For like 8 months, 10 months, something?
6.
6.
I think 6 months. It was a DUI.
Oh, we shot your first video like that week he got out.
He got out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so fucking crazy.
Wow.
It was like his first day out video type shit.
Did you being did you guys' success give him like any clout in the pen? Did he say or anything like that?
That was way after.
Yeah, that was before. That was like actually right before we
Got started.
We linked up and stuff.
Do y'all see that Rick Ross car show, man?
No, I know he's been. Yeah, I know he puts one on.
He put one on in his front
You trying to
yard.
go?
I think it just happened. I saw that Boosie before. Look at this. His front yard.
Hold on, I gotta put my prescription on.
That's his cars?
No, people bring their cars, bro.
So
about
they
to say.
pay to buy tickets to go to this.
Oh. They probably got some crazy whips out there.
Bro, there's a couple.
Damn.
See if you-
Was this in Miami?
looks like it. Atlanta, maybe.
I think it's
There's one.
Wow.
Damn.
Isn't that crazy?
That's pretty wild. I've never seen no shit like that before.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. See if you get the one with the horses, bro. When you roll in, they got
Oh
Horses.
yeah, that's. I think that's Evander Holyfield's
Horses.
house.
Oh,
Eating
what is that? A fucking Ferrari?
Yep.
Just as a horse trough?
What the fuck, bro?
They got horses eating straight hay out of Ferraris, baby.
Out of a horse, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's more
Bro,
horsepower,
people just be
bro.
thinking of how to flex.
That's
bro.
horsepower right there.
Bro, that's kind of like a wild. That's a
People be coming up with the craziest ways
Because you
to
have
flex.
to now.
Yeah,
You have to.
bro.
How much bigger can chains get? How much more expensive
Yeah.
can your cars
Yeah,
be? You gotta
yeah.
start doing crazy shit.
yeah. Look at this guy. All these speakers. This dude. This was wild looking.
Bro, is that fucking Toyota? You know what I'm talking about, those SUVs?
Yeah, that's an FJ.
FJ, yeah. That's crazy.
Damn.
With the Dolphins colors.
Dude, my dad
That's
used to have
hard.
a Cutlass. My dad bought a Cutlass from a couple brothers that live around the corner from us when I was a kid. I've told this story
Man, his
before, but I
hair,
only
too.
have so much stories. But and
smoke
my dad
just
was
going across.
I know.
probably 80 years old at the time, right? So he buys this bitch. It had 22s in the trunk, right? He has no idea. He can't even fucking hear. So, bro, he would take
subs?
Yeah,
22s?
bro. So
That's fucking huge.
Oh, bro, it was huge, bro. He got
Holy
it.
shit.
How
I
the
think
trunk closed, bro?
the dude had to get rid of it quick, bro. So my dad ended up with it, dude, and he would take us to school, bro.
Oh,
and that
yeah.
thing would just be-
What the fuck?
bro, my brother got braces and bitches fucking shit.
What were y'all listening to?
NPR radio.
Fuck.
The news, bro. Cloudy.
bro.
80% chance of rain.
That thunder hit, though. That thunder hit with them 22s.
Yeah.
though.
Dude, on Q93, though, it would be crazy because even the weather was like, we got a fucking
Yeah.
30% chance of it
Yeah.
being hot as a motherfucker. It would always be like, damn, this isn't a.
You know what's interesting about these three people is they have this mixture of like telling Scrim and Ruby's story and what they've been through and what their life's like. And then Theo is a weaver. So he'll weave in his comedy, which, half of which aren't even true stories about, his brother's braces flying out or whatever.
that's true.
But it's great comedy. And he's great at telling a story that adds on to what they're just saying. Like,
Yeah.
he's so good at picking up off of what they say, and then he just weaves right back into something about them. So it's not like this heavy interview where you're just sitting here staring at them talking about the same stuff or something that just goes deeper and deeper. He kind of comes up and out of it with some comedy and gives levity to it.
Yeah.
Venture,
That's
bro.
crazy. 22.
It might be raining, bitches. Y'all stay woke.
Yeah.
It was always like the weirdest weather report on Q93, man.
Yeah. A little bounce beat going
Oh,
behind.
yeah, it would always
yeah.
be something, bro.
Oh.
And B97, that was another one they had before that.
B97 was more like top 40, but
Yeah.
like because it was New Orleans, they also did like some Hot Boy shit and like
Wasn't Mark involved in
Yeah.
B97?
Kyle's dad was GM.
Yeah.
Yeah, and who's here with you today? Just so I notice we can reference them.
Yeah.
This is our management, Kyle and Dana.
Kyle and
Yep.
Dana.
Yeah, nice to see you guys, man. Respect.
As much as they try to stay behind the scenes, we always make
Yeah,
sure they
they
get
do.
seen at
Yeah,
least a
we
couple
like-
times.
But y'all's whole world is like that, man. Everything, that's what I'm saying. It just feels like it's
So he goes right back into
y'all.
it.
It feels indie.
Yeah.
But not in a bad way. It feels like, it just feels like it's y'all's world.
It is.
Even that little thing right there. It's like a lot of people don't have their management
that's-
coming. If they do, they're in a suit or something, and it's it just feels like
It's family to us, bro. Everybody around us.
We've been
is-
through so much with these guys.
Yeah.
Us, our 4-person team right here.
Yeah.
Through a lot.
like some people, like Will Smith was gonna come on,
Come on.
but he had some issue. What was it? Was like.
It was like a scheduling thing, and he wanted a little more control over the conversation.
Yeah, like there was things where like we couldn't you couldn't ask about it, so it's almost like then you're just an advertisement for
Yeah,
like
that's true.
a movie or something that
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
doing,
Did he not want to talk about the slap?
Right, yeah, or
Probably.
even you couldn't even ask, and I wouldn't have said like, "Hey, what do you hit a guy?" or something. I would be like, maybe what's been going on in your life that's been hectic for you the past couple of years. Just talk about like what makes you feel like that.
Yeah.
I don't need to know like the detail. Just seemed like he would be having a tough time probably.
Yeah.
Unless something was going on between them guys, but a lot of times too, it's the agents that'll say that shit, and the artists or whatever don't have any clue.
Yeah.
It's
right.
just how they want to control and pop.
Yeah.
And prop.
Nah, we're all.
Not us, dude. We talk all the time. Everybody's on the same page because a lot of things didn't happen because of communication being fucked up.
Yeah.
And from all of us, like we all have dropped the ball at some point a little bit with communication. So now, the four of us, that is the most important thing is communication and trust. So any fucking relationship, like Doesn't matter if it's professional, romantic. Or
It's
whatever.
hard to find people.
You know what's
to
interesting in watching them? Ruby just seems so casual with his dress.
Yeah.
Every time you see him, he's got these long shorts, this t-shirt, and he's just so comfortable. And look at how he's laying on the couch. He's like all the way laid back, comfortable. Scrim is much more, I think he's into fashion. He said that to me. Like he loves fashion, he loves design, and he'll have a little bit different look a lot of times to what he has. But I love how comfortable Ruby is.
Trust, bro. It really, I have a lot of trust issues. I've been fucked over a lot in many ways.
Same.
So I'm grateful that I have him.
It
and
helps that y'all
I
went to
got
high
these
school
guys.
together and shit,
Yeah,
you know?
it's my best.
cousins.
Kyle's my best friend. I mean, we're all brothers now, but me and Kyle were best friends since high school.
Shit out of that guy. From
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, bro. He helped wash them bike tires off your shoes there, bro.
But bro, we wouldn't. I mean, we were doing our thing, and they helped take us to another level.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
It really is a thing. Only good things can only happen with a group effort. It's definitely.
Kanye said something not that long ago, man, where he's like, something, I'm gonna mess it up, but something to the effect of like, nothing's a solo project.
Yeah. Nothing is a solo.
You know, like nothing's a solo. To your point, you know what I'm saying? Like it takes a team of people.
It really does.
I believe that.
And even then, the team of people to absorb it and listen to it and want to feel it.
Yeah.
You know, because it's interesting that listeners of things, and even us, when we listen to stuff, we get a whole different thing out of it than the creator gets. You know, it's really kind of wild.
Yeah.
That's actually a good point, Theo. And I don't think that point gets brought up enough either, because the listeners or the audience rather is just as an important part of what the fuck we do and what you do. You know, that doesn't get brought up a lot, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could be a good chef, but if nobody's enjoying
Eating your
it,
fucking food. Yeah.
you know, nobody out there licking their lips or whatever, or putting a little bit in their napkin for the Doberman at home or whatever, bro.
Put some Zatarans on it.
Oh, we used to have a lunch lady, bro. She'd take everything, bro. You wouldn't even be done. She'd be like, I'm gonna
Here
get
he
this
goes.
from my
See?
dog. I'd be like, bitch, I ain't even had
Can I have my crust back? Yeah.
I'm about to put a fur coat on and fucking hang out on your porch. Then I'm fucking starving because she come take it off your plate before you even got to eat. Man.
That's too funny.
But you guys love New Orleans. Are you guys featured in a lot of you guys' videos and stuff? You know, it's obviously like a part of your life that you. So even if you haven't felt like as much of a fan base here, you guys still have a lot of love for Louisiana.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I think we both have a lot of love for just the Gulf Coast in general. Just this is the region we're from. We're comfortable here.
Shaped who we are.
Yeah.
A lot of our personality, style,
Sure.
all of that. But yeah, I mean, dude, New Orleans, and someone told us this early on.
I remember this.
This is when, so basically if I can give you a visual presentation, we were trying to go like this, start local, build regional, go like that. And someone informed us, I'm grateful they did. This is when SoundCloud started popping, internet rappers like, you know, Young Lean, Bones, Zay when he was Ether Wolf, all that was popping off. And someone was like, you basically got to attack the internet because everybody here knows who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Johnny sees you at the gas station 3 times a week buying cigarettes. Like, he ain't really buying what you're selling. Whereas when you go through the internet, and that's what we did, you know, we were able to create this thing where we got popping in all these other places first, and it literally started from like Russia, and then came back to New Orleans. New Orleans was the last place.
Yeah.
Really?
The advice was don't go local to international. Do the internet and attack an international crowd first because your hometown is going to be the last place that fucks with you. And it's true because they still don't fuck with us.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
You know?
But yells. It's so interesting because there's a lot of New Orleans in it.
There's a lot of New Orleans in it.
You know?
Dude, it shaped us. Me and him, bro, we like worshipped Cash Money.
Yeah.
We loved Hot Boys. We wanted to be Lil Wayne. Like
No
Lil Wayne
limit.
was a huge influence on both of us. And I would argue that Master P is a huge inspiration to me and him. How that motherfucker started a label, had a rapping career, almost made it to the NBA, was putting his son in Nickelodeon shows, he was making movies. This motherfucker's a renaissance man.
Oh, he was one of the first kind of black, he was kind of an early
Entrepreneurs.
Tyler Perry to everybody, especially from this area, you know?
He's like worth like 600 mil, bro. He was a huge inspiration to us.
Yeah.
Just somebody that could just achieve all that. And especially from being from Calliope Projects, you know? If we're not from the Calliope Projects, what's our excuse of not making it? You know what I mean?
Right.
This guy went from literally rags to riches.
Yeah.
Big inspiration.
First off, shout out Master P. He's Houston guy.
That's awesome.
His son is actually playing basketball for U of H this year.
Oh, love it.
So I'm
Master P.
pretty sure that's the same Master P that.
That's awesome. Sounds like he's done a lot with his life.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna go a couple more minutes and then we're gonna take a break and do the rest another time.
This was our excuse of not making it. You know what I mean?
Right.
This guy went from literally rags to riches.
Yeah.
That's
Big inspiration on us.
incredible.
Big
What a
reason
story.
To us.
A big inspiration behind doing the label rather than just focusing solely on
Good
Suicide
point. That's a
Boys.
good point. That was why we did G59.
Yeah.
Because of Cash Money and No Limit.
Yeah.
And then what? How do you get like? Is Cheddar on G59?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And
Cheddar, Night Lavelle,
Germ Shake. and
Germ,
Ramirez.
Shake, Ramirez.
Yeah.
okay.
We
That's
have
the
about 5
lineup.
artists, 6 including ourselves. Yeah.
And so a lot of those guys will tour with you. I know Cheddar toured. The last tour that I saw, he was on.
2021.
Yeah. So
This year we're taking Shakewell.
Shakewell. Yeah, we
Booyah,
we
right?
try to switch it up.
Booyah, yeah.
Every tour, you know, and also set those guys up. But they do a great job of setting those guys up on their own tour, so they get their own shine.
Oh, that's great.
You know what I'm
'cause-
saying?
yeah, Cheddar just came out with an album.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Sacrifice and Sabotage.
Yeah, man, he's great, bro.
He's a good dude, bro.
I love him, man. He and I have become pretty close.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He's a hard worker.
He is. He got a big heart, bro.
He's the only person besides me that I know that works
Oh, he's a hard
as
worker.
much as I do, bro. He gets it in.
We try to show the boys love, and we've taken them on Grey Day and stuff. But with the other artists on our label, we try to take them on tour, but also, like he said, set them up on their own tours because it's important. Bro, anything in this world that you get through hard work is going to be yours to keep for a very long time.
Yeah.
But anything that was handed to you that you got very easily, it's not going to last very long.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so it's important that these guys grind. And we're behind them. We support them
That's
and push
true.
them to grind and make your own audience. You can borrow some of ours, but I don't want that for you because it's not going to last long.
Right.
I want you guys to have your fans that you earned, and I want it to be as big as it possibly can. And
Yes.
whatever we can do to do that, we will.
Yeah.
But I don't think the shortcut of like just giving it to you is going to work.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah, yeah. And a
not
lot of
gonna
it's
feel good either.
inspiration.
No, it won't. That's a good point too.
And a lot of it is even if you're just
All right, we're gonna stop it there.
That's really good. That's the story of parenting, honestly. When you talk about parenting, and you don't want to just hand your children something because then they don't appreciate the work it took to get that. So love it. All right, that is part 2 of the Suicide Boys interview with Theo Vaughn. I love this part just because they got more into the history of where they started and where they've come from and where they've been and where they're at now. And some of the deeper sides of like recovery and what it's taken for them to be able to, you know, be who they are today, but still make great music. I love this.
Yeah, so part 3 coming very soon.
Yep.
But hopefully y'all enjoy this longer, about an hour long video from us, and we'll get part 3 out, and then the whole thing will be done. So thank you all for watching. Part 3 will be on Twitch, so make sure you follow us over on Twitch. Links are in the description for that. We'll be doing it probably Friday this week, so this should be out either Wednesday or Thursday. So Friday is where you want to be for the part 3. So
Yep.
anyway, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you on the next
Next, Reaction Therapy.